So last spring I found these little birds at Hobby Lobby. I think their fancy little hats are so cute. I noticed they would tip over easily, so I was looking for ones that were a little more stable. So I carefully selected the ones I felt like had better balance. Once I got home, I noticed this one was missing its tail feathers. And I thought, oh, it just broke off in the bag. I'll glue it back on. Well, I looked and there was no tail or anything in the bag, so I guess I bought it like this, broken. I just didn't notice it at the time. But hey, it has good balance, right? So I decided I'm going to use my polymer clay supplies and make a new tail and glue it back on and repaint it. Hopefully afterwards you'd never know. I have this bad habit of buying a bunch of supplies at the craft store, and I think that's half the fun of working on a project is you just go out to the craft store and get the supplies, and then you get home and you don't work on the project. You would think, just looking at all the stuff I've accumulated, that I would have created countless projects by now. Well, the funny thing is though, what you see before you is the grand total of all the projects I've been able to complete so far. I wish I could say quality over quantity, but I'm not even sure about that. In my defense though, polymer clay is a little bit tricky. It's actually made of plastic and it won't dry out or harden on its own, so it needs to be baked. There's a specific temperature it needs to be baked at, but if you go over that temperature, it tends to burn and give off toxic fumes. So the baking process can be a little bit stressful. At first I bought a small toaster oven because I didn't want to bake the polymer clay in my kitchen oven. But this toaster oven was so hard to use. It didn't have a good thermostat, it couldn't keep an even temperature, and I tended to burn my projects. So it was a little discouraging until I bought this new toaster oven. This one has way better controls, it's digital, it has a better thermostat, and it keeps the temperature probably within 5 to 10 degrees of where I need it to be. It's nice now, I have so much more confidence when it comes to baking my polymer clay creations. I'm going to go off on a little tangent here. So when something catches my eye at the craft store, I usually take a picture of it. And then I tell myself, I won't buy this, I can make this at home. Which you know never happens. But now that I have my new toaster oven set up, I thought I might give it a try to make this one. I wasn't too sure if it was going to work out, so I ended up not taking any footage of me making it, but I will show you when I glued it together and what it finally looks like. After I sculpted and baked the pieces, I painted them with acrylic paint and also coated them with some gloss. Here I am gluing the signpost to the base. Then I add the flowers and the leaves. And finally, the owl goes on the top of the post. And here it is all finished. I'm really pleased on how it turned out, and it was really fun to work on this project. It's so motivating, and I want to make more things like this. Next time I'll be sure to film the process though. Okay, now the tail reconstruction project begins. Here I'm trying to decide how big the tail should be, comparing it to the bird that has its tail. So I flatten the clay down a bit and then cut it into the basic shape. Shape it just a little bit more and then try it on for size. Bake it in my new oven, and the tail prosthesis is complete. So then I glued the tail on. And here is the tail attached. I tried to match the color and I painted the tail. I didn't get the tail exactly right, and there was a little bit of a ridge that I filled in with some Elmer's glue. The glue was helpful in hiding the seam. Then I repainted a little bit again. And here she is, all finished. She's happy to shake her tail feathers once more. Now these 3 gals will be ready to show off next springtime.